Today I'm going to be talking about some notes that I made about 9 years ago when I was taking a scriptwriting program. There was an event that we would always hold every year, and it was called the Hot House Play Readings. For these events, we would always have a moderator, and on this particular night we had the great opportunity to have a famous American playwright coming to moderate because he was friends with the director. Let's talk about the top 10 tips that he gave us. 10. Read the Poetics by Aristotle. If you can transpose this to our times, then you would be working off a great dramatic text on the theory of story. 9. In the end, we all share the same question. Why am I alive? Why are you living in this world? Are you supposed to be a writer? Are you supposed to be a lawyer? What are you going to do to change the world? This is the basic question we all have. And to avoid it is to mean you're living a bullshit lie, because in the end, you're going to die. And you shouldn't be surprised when that happens. 8. Everyone has a unique thing we all relate to. We all come from unique places, but the problem of new writers is that we try to move away from what we know. We try to make things so abstract that it loses its human quality. Try to write from where you grew up from. That's a unique story. And when you write that, people are going to find that real. Because if you write how people talk, people are going to know if it's real or not. 7. The power of threes. There are times when you only have 2 characters on stage. This becomes more like a conversation, and sometimes the split sides can be repetitive. Like, if you have acrobats on stage, you get over the fact that they're tightroping. When that happens, it loses its magical quality. At times, the power of 3 characters on stage can have a shift in powers. The winning and the losing of sides. It's like a playground where you have Billy, Bobby, and Betty. Bobby could say to Billy, I'm not going to play with you anymore. Screw you, that kind of thing. And leaves with Betty. Who knows? Betty could say to Bobby, and she gets convinced to go with Billy, and vice versa. The shifts in power keeps it interesting and entertaining. It's also familiar because we all have that moment where we could be friends with somebody and then suddenly they shift against our opinions or beliefs, and boy, what a struggle it is to fight against that, or to argue, or to convince, or to be convinced, and to overcome their beliefs, or to just win them back as relationships. 6. Keep the action on stage. Sometimes you get a lot of action off stage and a little bit of action on the stage. So, common sense, try to bring that on stage. 5. Try to aim for travelogue quality. Let the audience go somewhere. Again, this will resonate with them as being unique and familiar. 4. Rewrite and rewrite the first 2 pages of a dramatic piece until it just explodes off the page. And this instantly captures the audience's attention. Grab them by the throat and never let go. This would lead to the dramatic promise. When you go to a play and the guy on stage says,
there will be a war between the Trojans and the Greeks,
you're probably going to say, damn, there's going to be a war. I paid my money's worth. Yeah. 3. Write from the heart. Try not to imitate what other people do. Instead, be as true as you can to your heart. 2. Be unique and familiar. Bring a uniqueness to the story, especially to something that's a little different. A place where the audience would be captured, but familiar enough that they could relate to it with their lives. Take, for example, there are some people you wouldn't want to cross paths with. You encounter them on the street, and you're most likely going to cross the street to avoid intersecting with them. Show these same characters in a human way, it's going to have a connection with the audience. And what happens is that they're going to leave the theater while holding these characters so dear to their hearts. 1. If you can write how people talk, you can make a living. It's not about copying how a writer writes his or her dialogue, but about you. It's all about being an individual and the everyday interactions with the people around you. If you have a basic understanding of how people make word choices or how they convey their meanings to another human being, then that's great. If the excessive use of vulgar language is true to what people sound like and to your heart, who gives a fuck? So that's it, my friends. 10 top tips from the notes of a playwright. I hope you find these things useful and maybe apply them to your own writing. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you in the next one.